Remember that expression years ago? Well, not the expression. There was a commercial. Nobody doesn't like or nobody doesn't love Sarah Lee. Nobody doesn't like Sarah Lee. Well, nobody likes Rosie O'Donnell, and that's something which I think is readily apparent to anybody. But what can only be, I guess, described as the least surprising and most irrelevant celebrity relocation of the decade, Rosie O'Donnell has officially left the United States for Ireland. That's right. The former TV host, Trump hating loudmouth, and self proclaimed activist. Oh, and by the way, in one of her TikTok moments, she says, star of the Flintstones. What's this, 1994? I thought A League of Their Own was better. Anyway, she's packed her bags and fled across the Atlantic, and yet the most shocking part of this entire saga is that absolutely nobody cares, or knew, or gives a rat's ass. You see, for years, Rosie O'Donnell has threatened to leave the country whenever things didn't go her way politically, or so she thought. She vowed to move to Canada when George W. Bush won re-election in 2004. She claimed she would pack up and flee when Trump won in 2016. Each time she stayed put, gracing America with her endless tirades of irrelevance against, conservatives, capitalism, and most of all, Donald Trump. But now in 2025, after realizing that her screeching has lost whatever tiny audience it once had, she has finally made good on her promise and for the Emerald Isle. Now let's be clear, my friends. This isn't some dramatic exile, and it's certainly not some great loss for America. Rosie O'Donnell is no dissident, no political refugee. She's simply another washed-up celebrity has-been fleeing a country that she's spent decades slandering. And the difference is, unlike other Hollywood elites who claim they will abandon ship when things don't go their way, she actually did it. Or at least so it seems. And we say, good riddance. You see, it's difficult to pinpoint exactly when Rosie O'Donnell went from controversial media figure to an irrelevant has-been and pain in the ass, but the timeline is clear. Somewhere between her public feuds with Donald Trump and her increasingly unhinged social media rants, America simply stopped listening and caring. Once upon a time, Rosie O'Donnell was a prominent daytime television host with a relatively mainstream audience. And that changed when she decided that her career will be better spent hurling vitriol at conservatives, alienating half the country, and transforming herself into the poster child for Hollywood's far-left extremism. Her war and feud with Trump, of course, was the highlight of her descent, and it began with personal insults and escalated into a full-blown public meltdown. And as Trump rose to political prominence, Rosie went from being a once popular TV personality to a deranged political hacktivist, an activist, anyway, who seemed incapable of, discussing anything other than her hatred for the man. Now, while Trump was busy winning elections and reshaping American politics, Rosie was busy throwing tantrums on social media, staging cringe-worthy protests, and embarrassing herself yet again at every opportunity. And now she's gone. But instead of the dramatic, headline-making departure she likely envisioned and thought, she just left quietly. No grand exit, no heroic farewell tour, just a move to Ireland, a country she apparently believes will offer her the utopian progressive paradise she's been searching for, I guess. So why Ireland? Well, according to O'Donnell, she's long dreamed of moving to the country and embracing her Irish roots. That's all well and good, but let's not kid ourselves. This isn't about heritage. This is about fleeing a country that has completely and utterly rejected her. This is about escaping the reality that she no longer holds any sway in the political or entertainment world. She's a nobody. Ireland, with its perhaps leftward shift in recent years, is simply a more comfortable ideological home for someone like her. But if she thinks she'll be embraced as some sort of American political exile, she's in for a rude awakening. You see, the people of Ireland have their own problems to deal with. This may be a shock to you. And the arrival of a washed-up, self-important, has-been former talk show host isn't exactly high on their list of priorities. You see, the Irish have long been known for their humor, their resilience, and their ability to spot nonsense a mile away. If Rosie thinks she can just waltz into Dublin and start preaching about Trump, America and the supposed evils of capitalism, I guess, she might quickly find herself facing an audience that has absolutely no interest in her tired, hackneyed, recycled pep and talking points. If Rosie O'Donnell was expecting an outpouring of grief or a national debate over her departure, she got a brutal dose of reality instead. There were no, repeat, no trending hashtags, no heartfelt farewell messages from Hollywood elites, no mainstream media campaigns begging her to stay. No, the reaction to her exit was a resounding, deafening silence. And that silence speaks volumes. America has moved on. The media landscape has changed. People aren't tuning in to hear Rosie O'Donnell's political rants anymore. That's nonsense. They're more interested in actual political developments, real discussions about the future of the country, and leaders who actually matter. Rosie O'Donnell's move to Ireland isn't just the physical relocation of a person, it's the symbolic end of an era where unhinged Hollywood elites and activists could command the attention of the American public with nothing but empty outrage. Well, the fact is, my dear, that your move to Ireland changes absolutely nothing. You see, the people who agreed with her radical politics will continue to spout the same tired narratives without her. The people who oppose her won't even notice she's gone. And the vast majority of Americans, they never cared in the first place. At the end of the day, Rosie O'Donnell's self-imposed exile is little more than a footnote in the grander scheme of things, my friends. She can sip her tea in an Irish cottage, rant about Trump to an audience that isn't listening, and I guess pretend that she somehow won some great ideological battle by fleeing the very country that gave her fame and fortune. But the reality is far simpler. America is better off without her. So to Rosie O'Donnell, we say this: don't let the door hit you on the way out, honey. Enjoy Ireland, and to the rest of America, you're welcome. One less Hollywood elitist nitwit trying to lecture you on how to live your life. Now, back to making America great again. What do you think, my dear friend? Was that too harsh? Was that too mean? Nah. Let me know. And make sure you are subscribed to this here network, this thing I'm doing here. I found out that 87% of the people who actually listen and view aren't subscribed. So do me a favor, do the right thing. Sign up right now. Hit that little button so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And whatever you do, I beg, beseech, implore, importune, and entreat you, dear friend, to comment as you see fit.